There you go, guys. You can check the chat. You need to just share on your page, tell a friend, share, share, share.
Janai!
Can you mute, please?
Oh, sorry.
All right, guys. So we're just waiting on a few people. It's Friday. It's Friday. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. We're just waiting on a few more people. We're just giving them a few more minutes. So please bear with us. Thank you for your patience. And we just want to welcome you again to our program. Just give us a few more minutes, please. Thank you. Were you guys able to use that link? Okay, so welcome back to Ladies Uplifting and Inspiring. It's Friday, and you know, this week we have some lovely queens on our panel. We have them as our special guests, and they will be telling you more about how they established their Black business. They're all Black queens. So we just want to welcome our viewers, welcome our strong supporters. It's once again, it's Friday. How are you all doing? I am the host, as you know, I am Cleopatra. So I'm going to start by asking Queen Shanafi, please introduce yourself and you can unmute.
So, hi everyone. Thanks for having me. As Cleopatra says, my name is Shanafi, and from the dialect, I'm Jamaican. I've lived a long time in Europe. I've lived all my adult life in Europe. I am the face or the owner part of the Zyzven Naturals brand, and that's a cosmetic brand, cosmeceutical. Apart from that, I'm a mother to three kids, three boys under the age of 10. So life is busy.
Okay, thank you so much, Shanafi. And then I'm going to Queen Ebony.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Ebony. I'm currently living in Chicago. I'm originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I have two wonderful children, Persia and Judah. I'm the founder of Anti-Trend Apparel, and I'm also a wellness coach and creator of the Mommy Wellness Box. So I collaborated with a few Black-owned businesses in Chicago, and they're all moms that have their own businesses, and we put all of their products in a box and we sent it out as self-care packages for other moms.
Okay, thank you so much. And Queen Caressa.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm Caressa. I live in Georgia. I'm originally from Chicago or Evanston. Been here for a while. I have two children, 4 and 8. I'm a mommy and a wife, entrepreneur also. I started off with just a lipstick business. Each lipstick had a name after an iconic African-American woman. Then I went on to make t-shirts and other custom items. This year I launched a self-care box as well. And my children also have businesses under mine. I'm also working on a nonprofit called Shades of Pink Atlanta, and that's about it.
Thank you so much. And I'm going over to Queen Rendera.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Randira. I started Butter by D, which is a butter that started off for just my hair and has turned into body butter as well. It's all natural, and I am also a full-time psychology student, and I live in Evanston, just north of Chicago.
Thank you for your introduction. And last but not least, Queen Olivia.
Hello, hi. Hope everyone is doing okay. I'm glad to be here. My name is Olivia Jones, and I'm originally from Jamaica, but I was raised in Evanston. I currently own a business called Shower Blooms. I started out this year, and I have 3 wonderful children, 17, 10, and 2 years old, and they're all girls. And my business, I have natural soap bars. I make wet body butters, milk baths, bath teas, and body scrubs. And that's about it. And more to come.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your introduction, ladies. Thank you. So we were supposed to have 2 more ladies. I'm not sure if they will be joining us, but if not, we'll see. So again, without forgetting the other ladies of Ladies Uplifting and Inspiring, Angela, you know, she's in the back end taking care of business for us. Vanille, I'm sure as soon as she gets a chance, she will be joining us later on, hopefully. So without further ado, I'm just going to get right into it because I know, for example, Shanafi, she's all the way in Sweden and it's morning time there. Did you go to sleep, Shanafi, to get up for this?
I did actually.
Okay.
It's almost.
Thank you so much, all ladies, for
It's
taking.
2:30 a.m.
Wow. Wow. Appreciate you guys for taking the time out and accepting our invitation. It's an honor to be sitting here among you all, queens. So, hey, how are you all doing, by the way? Everybody feels comfortable? Okay, so I'm going to start out by asking, how did you start your business? Starting with Shanafi, and I'll go just the same route I did before.
Well, my business, I started it when I was in Jamaica. I moved back to Jamaica in 2017 to have my kids have a Jamaican education. And while there, you know, you have to have something to do. So my son was bitten by a mosquito. And because at the time I was away from Jamaica for maybe 18 years, I didn't have a Jamaican passport, nothing. So when I went to the hospital, it was so expensive. So I was complaining. I went to the parish I was from, and I was complaining how expensive the healthcare system was. And my grandfather said to me at the time, I think he was 92, He said to me, don't you know you could use this herb for the mosquito bites? And so I used it on my son, and it worked. And then I formulated a soap from it, and it worked. And I tested it on quite a few people, and they liked it. And that was how I started, actually, in my kitchen in Mandeville. And I moved back to Sweden, so 2018. Didn't work out so well in Jamaica, so I moved back to Sweden 2018. And people started liking the products. I started manufacturing more products. And but I had one basis, that it should be products that were free from chemicals. They had to be approved by European Union standards. And they had to be tested and certified, so, and without the parabens, silicones, that kind of stuff. So that was basically how it started out for me, really. And I did it so we've been around for 3 years just with that brand. I've had a business since I was 19 years old. And we've just added till this moment. We have maybe 70, 80 different products to the Zyzven Naturals brand, usually skincare, health, and teas, herbs. Yeah, so that's how I started out, really.
Thank you so much for letting us know that. And now, Ebony, how did you birth your business?
Well, for me, the self-care boxes that I created, I just always had a passion for collaborating with other women, especially Black women, and I love supporting Black businesses. And especially with everything that's gone on this year, I was like, how can I help moms? Because I'm also passionate about helping moms. Because I was like, this is a hard year. People are talking about kids and families and stuff, but I'm like, the moms have taken a hard hit and nobody's like supporting them. So I was like, you know what? I have a lot of friends that have products that I think other moms would love, and that will help them to learn to prioritize themselves, because there's like this big self-care movement. So I'm like, we need to like remember the moms. So I was like, all right, let's put everything in a box and then just sell it and see if people will like it. So I was like, I'll do it like a subscription box. We'll do a limited amount, and people were on board with it. Like, it went very smoothly. I was like, thank you, God, because I am so like, I'm one of those scary entrepreneurs. I'm like, is this gonna work? So my husband is my pusher, but we got all the products together. Everything happened on time. We launched it, and I've sold all 25. So within a month. So I was really surprised about that, because I'm like not a big launch specialist or anything. And I was like, I'm just going to put it out there and go with God. So the moms loved it. They've been sharing it. And then that's helped the other moms as well get new people in front of their products and help to support them.
Thank you so much for sharing. And Queen Caressa, how did you start your business?
I really don't remember how I started. With the nonprofit, I knew that I wanted girls to have a place they can go, or have have someone they can turn and talk to. Kind of somebody that you want when you're a teenager. Some teens don't want to, turn to a family member. They want to go to someone else, but someone they know they can trust. So that's what made me start the nonprofit. As far as like the cosmetic line, I'm a girl, I'm a woman. All women love everything girly, so lipsticks and lip glosses, that's just my thing. And I wanted to offer a good product to people, something that they would like. So that's what inspired me to do so.
And now, Randera.
Butter by D started shortly after I actually started my natural hair journey in 2013. It was nowhere near like a business idea. I was spending a bunch of money on buying products in the stores, and my hair was still ridiculously dry and breaking off, and it just was not growing. And I also suffer from a scalp condition that causes my hair to flake horribly. And because I wasn't finding a product that was working, I started experimenting in my kitchen, much like Shanafi. I just started mixing stuff up. And so I started mixing up different oils because my main problem was dryness. And after a while, I found a combination that my hair seemed to really enjoy, and my hair started growing. I stopped having as much breakage, and not as many flare-ups with my condition. And so I started getting questions from people who would see me on the street when I would do twist outs and things like that. Like, these are twists to be taken out soon. And they would say, what do you use? Or what products do you have? And people just, and my family kept encouraging me to sell it. And so eventually I started like mixing some up for friends, and people were like, sell this. And so I turned it into a business.
Awesome story right there. And like you said, you didn't even imagine it becoming a business, but wow, look at that.
Not at all.
Wow. And Miss Olivia, I can tell you, your soap is the bomb.
Well, thank you for supporting me. I appreciate it. Well, Shower Blooms started out this year. So, what really motivated me was my friends, because my friends, they love natural products and they shop natural products. So I have been making soaps, bar soaps, since last year, and I've been giving them away to family and friends, and they have encouraged me to sell them. So that's, I started just selling them this year. Well, since the pandemic, I perfected my craft, and yeah, I just naturally I'm a creative person, so far so good. Everything has been working out. So
Awesome.
Shower Blooms.
Wow. So you all put your innovative, creative ideas and made it work. Now, let
Yes.
me ask you before I delve into another question. Any one of you ladies still have a 9 to 5 job other than your Black entrepreneur establishment?
Yes, I still have a full-time job. Yes.
Anyone else? Okay. So how do you
I
manage
still
that?
I still work a full-time job.
Okay, so let me ask you both ladies, how do you all manage that with doing your personal business?
I try and get what I can done on the weekend. My product is made to order, so when I get someone who puts in a request, then and it's not fairly complicated. So when I get off, I'll try and get it done that night, and then I'll ship them out like, a day or two later, because it takes some time to solidify. So I just kind of, in my free time, after work, on the weekends, things like that.
Yeah, same with me. Like making soap bars, they have to be cured for 4 weeks. So like right after work, like I'm working on a new batch. So it takes a lot of time. So I'm always like working, doing something.
Okay, so during the time it's fermenting and taking time to set, you still do your 9 to 5. You're a real okay. So how did you guys get the idea or the concept for the names for your businesses? Starting with Shanafi.
Okay. The business name is Zyzven Naturals. Zyzven is my 3-year-old son. So it started 3 years ago, as I said, when I was in Jamaica, and I was newly divorced. Life wasn't going the way it should, and there I had a baby, and as a person who have done business before, I started businesses and then I sold them off. This time, being a mom of 3, I wanted to create a legacy for my children. And so I say, you know what? I will never be able to sell something that bears the name of my children, because this was for my kids. So I named my product after my children, and I named the business after the children. And that was to guarantee and ensure that I transition from being an entrepreneur who starts businesses and then sell them off as soon as they become profitable, and keep this one. Because in a lot of ways also, the products that I sell, everything, it is part of my legacy. It is part of my background. These are things that, so I wanted to keep this one. So that's why I got the name Zyzven Naturals. It's all natural, and that's my boy. The other products bear the other names of my children.
Ebony, how did you come up with that novel name for your business? How did the concept come about?
For the mommy self-care box, is kind of like it's a mommy self-care box. Um, I actually went through several names because I was like, oh, I should call it the Black Mom Magic Box, because I just felt like there was nothing that really helped me express what I wanted it to be. But Black Mom Magic Box sounded kind of catchy, but I was like, I don't want the Saints getting mad at me talking about magic. So I didn't call it that. And then I called it the Back to School Mommy Self-Care Box, but that kept confusing people because they thought it was for moms that were going back to school. So I just had to narrow it down to Mommy Self-Care Box because that kind of explained like, oh, it's for moms and it's for self-care and to help them learn to prioritize themselves. So that's how I had to kind of, make it short and succinct.
So in essence, you're the mompreneur.
Yes.
Okay, okay. And Karen, how did you come up with your business name?
So Beau, I kind of took it from beautiful. Beau usually means someone you admire. It's usually a male admirer, I'm sorry. But I just kind of put my own spin on it and just took it from the word beautiful. So same thing for me with my self-care box, Beau's box. I just kind of put it in the front of box because it contains beauty products or it contains self-care items in there. Beau's customs, for the custom items that I make. So yeah, Beau just means anything that can be beautiful. And Beau does mean beautiful in French. So that's where I got my name from.
Okay, thank you. And Rendera?
It actually, as simple as it seems, it took me a while to nail down Butter by D, but it's a butter, a hair butter, a body butter. And my family nickname is actually D, so Butter by D.
Okay, and Olivia?
Okay, my concept just came from like my surroundings. So like, okay, you use a bar soap in the shower, so shower and balloons. It just clicked, like just no, it clicked. And then also I had my sister and my brother Tatiana and Alex. They inspired me as well, helping me creating it as well. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So I know some of you have already said what it is that you do, but I know others may have more relates to what you offer. So what I want to ask is that what service or product do you offer or manufacture? And Shanafi, I start with you as usual.
Okay, so at Zyzven Naturals, we manufacture skincare products, more like cosmeceuticals, more than cosmetics. Yeah. Our main focus is on products for the melanated skin. So, and for like the unique issues that comes with being melanated. I make the products myself. So I'm not buying, I'm producing the products. Acne, hyperpigmentation, alopecia. I had alopecia for years. I was completely bald.
Wow.
Did the steroids, did everything, the injections, nothing worked. So our top selling product is actually for alopecia and for hyperpigmentation and acne. Then I, sorry. Then I also wanted to focus on anti-aging products because I know in the Black community, we say black don't crack, but it does if you don't take care of it. So I wanted to focus on products for the woman who wants to maintain her youth without the chemicals and to keep our skin to glow without changing our complexion to look good. So apart from that, the business model I have is that I manufacture the products and I allow other females to start their businesses selling the Zyzven Naturals brand. So even though I'm here in Sweden, our biggest market is the United States, actually, the United States and Canada, along with the Caribbean. So it is more than just selling cosmetics. It is more like a movement of women that are creating a legacy for later on.
Shanafi, I know you have more. Tell us about the veggie steam.
Okay, it's a lot of our products are back to basics. A lot of our products are back to basics products. So again, I grew up in rural Jamaica, very, very poor. So could never afford the Western medicine. So I grew up with my grandmother and 15 cousins in 2 rooms. So it's been a long journey to where I am. So the vaginal steam, if we look back if we look back 50 years, 100 years, in every civilization, including the African civilization, the Afro-Caribbean, the Asians, the Middle Eastern, and the Europeans, further back 300 years, we're always, women need to embrace their feminine self, and at the same time we need to take care of our feminine parts. So the vaginal steam, it's a combination of herbs, traditional herbs sourced in Africa, the Caribbean, and Asia, that by introducing heat through water, it the oils and the active ingredients goes, you know, to the vaginal canal. And while it's not a cure for diseases, it alleviates a lot of the female issues we have, like cramping, the blocked passages. Because if we look back, I grew up with a grandmother who sat on a pail with her herbs. I grew up in rural Jamaica, where women, after they gave birth, around week 8, they would use these herbs to both flatten the belly and, you know, get the substances out that doesn't need to be in that tube, that fallopian tube canal. So it is also one of our better selling products. Me being a proud Jamaican, I name almost all my products either my kids or Jamaican words. So usually to the normal person, it's called a vaginal steam or a yoni steam. To my Caribbean people, or to me, it is a puni steam. You know, the Jamaican word for that area, puni. Yeah, so that is it's quite popular. It is quite popular because people are reconnecting to their traditions and going back to basics. The pandemic teaches us that. Go back to basics. Less is more.
That is right. And I love that. I mean, I was looking into your products. So guys, what I'm gonna do real quick, I'm just going to show you something here based on what she's speaking about. So as you can see on the screen here, this is some form of hair balding. Not sure if that's alopecia.
She has alopecia.
Okay, there you go. So just describe this picture to the audience.
Okay, I can even call her name. I think she's also on the live. That is Nicole from New York. So Nicole was, she has told me that for the last 5 months, this is month 7, but for 5 years, she had alopecia brought on by PCOS. For those who know what PCOS is. So when I met Nicole initially, she said, "Oh, what do you have?" Because I was always showing my hair. When I was bald, mine was worse than hers. It was gone. And I documented my journey on social media using, I can show the product. It's called onion growth oil. Yeah. So I documented my journey, and she came to me and I said, you know, try this, try this. She tried it. She originally started off with the onion growth oil and a tea tree and lime shampoo and conditioner, which I also formulate. And I started seeing the hair coming, and she went to her dermatologist. And he was like, what are you using? Whatever you're using, continue using it. Because for 5 years, she was taking steroids, corticosteroids for the hair growth. And as you see, I got this picture from her, I think 2 weeks ago at month 7. Her hair is back. And I've had ladies that they have been bald, and I mean literally bald, for 15, 20 years.
Wow.
And my customers call it the miracle in a bottle. It's been amazing, and I'm so happy because so many of our Black women, because we braid our hair, because we glue our hair, because of genetics, because of the diet we have, because of the socioeconomic conditions we grew up in, we suffer from this. And then rather than seeking help, we're told that, oh, for a lot of doctors, oh, it cannot be cured. It's something that is uncurable, because most of the doctors we meet, they do not understand the Black hair, that we tend to be bald more, not because of genetics, but because of the tension we have in our hair. We braid our hair more than other races. So if you're like me in Sweden, where a doctor just looked at my head and said to me, we have no cure for you. Here are the injections. Luckily, healthcare is free in Sweden, so I don't have to complain about the cost. But yeah, so they don't understand the the African hair. So we are often misdiagnosed. And a lot of people, they believe that to treat the hair, no, you have to treat the scalp and produce healthy follicles. So that is one of our miracle products from Zyzven Naturals.
Yes, and the reason why I'm showing guys, I want them to see that your products are real. We're not talking anything made up here. So hence, you know, we want them to see real life stories and, you know, the product. If you could just hold up the little bottle closer and
and they're actually sold in pharmacies, you know.
Right, we're gonna get into that, Shanafi. Oh, thank you so much. So now I'm going over to Ebony.
I actually don't manufacture or produce anything. That was an amazing story, by the way. But like everybody that I work with, they create their own products. Like I have my first box, I had a candle in it that was infused with essential oils that's completely soy. And then so you don't have to worry about all the chemicals because like you said, we're going back to natural things and going back to just the basics and cutting out all the toxins and whatnot. So the lady I worked with the candles, that's what she does with her stuff. And then there was a lady I worked with essential oils. She has one called Peace. And that one she uses, I think it's like 3 different things, but she infuses it because people have a lot of issues with like anxiety and things like that. And that was especially what I was thinking about for moms. I'm like, this is a stressful time. I have a 2-year-old, that's stressful enough. And an 8-year-old with a mouth. So, so that little Peace rollerball essential oil really helps. And then she also has things that help with like arthritis and whatnot. So she does different infusions with that. So that was one of the things I wanted to work with her, why I chose her. And then the other lady, she's actually a nurse and she creates a lot of different skincare things, like when it comes to eczema or just like skin conditions and whatnot. So I had her make just a simple lavender rose body butter. And everybody seemed to like that because it was really soft and like just very gentle on the skin. And, you know, so many people, they don't realize that eczema is actually an autoimmune disease. So they usually just think it's a regular skin condition. So she makes a lot of stuff concerning that. But I was like, let's ease people into that and have something that's just simple and nice and smells good, but is beneficial to the skin. So like a guy, he had to actually explain to me, he's like, you're not you're just a distributor. Like none of this stuff in this box belongs to you. But I'm just happy that, you know, I was able to collaborate with those women and help other people experience their products.
Awesome. So how do you get your products? Is it locally sourced or do you make it by yourself?
For me, no, they make everything in their own homes. So they actually, and the reason I like working with them is because they do all their research. Like I said, one is a nurse, the other one, she's like, she has certifications in her, what is it called? Aromatherapy and things like that. And then the other lady with the candles, like she just started that business this year, but she made sure that her candles were something that were healthy because she wanted to make sure families were able to burn them and not have to worry about like congestion and things like that we get. So they get all of their ingredients, like especially the nurse. She's like one of those people that will travel places to go get her ingredients and like check and make sure it's sourced well and ethically.
Right. And just to let the viewers know, alternative therapy, it's primarily known as natural therapies. The Chinese, the Asians are well known for that. And it's, you know, like the word says, alternative for those people who are not into the pharmaceuticals or, you know,
Right.
medication. You know, if you do research on that, it's very, very good. Very, very good. Yeah. So, Caressa.
Yes. So similar to Ebony, I do have the, you know, Bose box, and the products that come in there come from small business owners. When I started it, I put it out there so that other people can get the exposure as well. So I know I've talked to Olivia about including her soaps in there for next month, but I'm trying to do a fall box. But the products that I make myself are the body oils, like Shanafi, I hope I pronounced it correctly. Sorry if I didn't. Mentioned we're going back to, you know, our roots where we're using natural things again, and that's how I am. I use natural deodorants. I can't tell you the last time I've used lotion because I use my body oils, which consist of all natural ingredients. So those are the things I make myself outside of what I include from other people. But the body oils, bath salts, things of that nature, shower steamers, all of these things have natural ingredients just so we can take care of ourselves without including ingredients that aren't good for our bodies.
I have to try your oils too, Carissa. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know if the viewers will see my face. I'm looking much more refreshed and fine. Just to let you know, Olivia, I use your soap on my face.
Yeah, I love her soap.
And she can tell you I bought a whole stock. I was like, I got every single one. Yeah. So, Rendera, how about you?
So my product, as I stated earlier, is a hair butter, and it's made of all natural oils. It's just a combination of a bunch of different oils that I combine, and the base of it is shea butter. And so that's the one product that I currently have, and I'm in the process of working on a shampoo. um, I've been doing a lot of research for it because I really want something that will help people who have the condition that I have, which is seborrheic dermatitis. Because in a lot of my research and trying to find like people's suggestions to help with what I haven't found anything, and nobody seems to have a natural remedy. Like I have dermatologist, I've gone to several, and it's all like prescription, like super strong shampoos and oils and things that you have to use. And I'm sure that there's a natural remedy that would work. And so I'm working on a shampoo and conditioner to go along with the hair butter that I currently have.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Rendera. In the meantime, I have a friend who she's in England too right now. Her name is Ava, and she does the mango girl, and she includes like the mango butter in hers. So y'all are doing a great job. And Olivia, expound some more on your business, please.
Yes, so like Randera and Ebony said, and what's the other lady's name? Jeffy. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but yeah, I make my own products from scratch. I use butters and oils. The lathering, I use lathering and moisturizing oils that are beneficial to the skin. I order my products off of Amazon and I buy them from the store organic. Um, I have been also using my own products. I don't spend money at the store anymore. So that has been beneficial for me and my family as well. Mhm.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Olivia. Shanafi, and the viewers are asking you to hold up the bottle closely to the screen so they could see it, please. I hope that they can see it. If not, afterwards, you can go over to her page on Facebook. There's how do you pronounce it, please? I know it's ZY.
It's Zyzven, as in seven naturals. They can go over to my page, but it's widely available in the United States through the distributors.
Right, and we're gonna get more in depth with that as it relates to where your products are being sold. And it's your stories are all very great stories, and I'm very proud of you all. I mean, I know a lot of you on here are very young, and that's great. Great ideas, great concepts. So, how do you guys advertise? Starting with Shanafi.
Wow. I do have my own platform on social media. It's a large following, 140,000, maybe 145. However, I have never spent a dollar on advertising. The customers advertise the products because we have a special group of customers that they probably have had their issues for decades. So whenever they get relief, just like I don't remember her name was talking about the dermatitis, and we do have a lot of customers with that issue. I do produce shampoos, certified organic shampoos. So the customers usually go out and advertise for us without even knowing that they're advertising for us. And for us, it's good because I've never spent a dollar on advertisement, never. Never. And I no longer operate out of my house. I operate out of a factory and I've never advertised. So it is doable.
Wow! And how much did you start out with again?
$100.
And that was 100 Jamaican dollars, correct?
No, 100 US dollars. So it's about, in 2017, it was maybe 12,000 Jamaican dollars. Because what is, I've always had a company. I just added this brand to the company, and then it took over the company. I've had a company since I was 19 years old.
Wow. And then just share with the audience, how much did you make within the last few months?
I think I think I made about 4 years salary
Guys,
from my 9 to 5.
I mean, I know she wouldn't go in depth, but I had to pull her a little because I want you guys to know, to understand that when you are serious, when you put your ideas into action, it works. You don't have to fatten up the colored people's pockets and we be sitting down working hand to mouth, guys.
And that's in retail sales, not my distribution sales. That is online retail sales.
Okay, you heard that?
And that's since the pandemic. So that's since I quit my job, or I was forced out of my 9 to 5. I'm from mental health background, because of a racial incident in April. Yeah, I quit in April. And by June, when I focused 100%, no risk, no reward, by June, I had made 2 years salary in retail sales in the middle of the pandemic.
Look at that. Remarkable story.
And that's why I invited other women to be a part of it, because I could no longer manage it on my own.
And you know I'm a part of it already, right?
Yeah, I know you're a part of it. You said it. You said it.
You guys, our special guest, you heard her, and I'm sure you viewers, I wanted her to talk about it because we're talking about a real life story. Now,
Yeah.
Ebony, how do you advertise?
It's always hard going after her. For me, I just use social media and word of mouth. Like I have a lot of, well, not a lot, not as 140 some thousand, but but a lot of my friends and family are very supportive, which a lot of people say when you start a business, don't expect your friends and family to be your customer. But I've actually found a lot of support in them, which I'm very thankful for. But it's like I need to expand out of that. So I'll continue with social media, but I don't really care for it. So I want to do a lot more hands-on stuff like pop-up shops and things like that because I like to interact with people. And I actually did one recently, and that was very, very helpful, just getting out in the community.
Fantastic. How about you, Caressa?
Pretty much the same as what Ebony said. And what you said was very true. They say don't depend on your friends and family, but my friends and family have been extremely supportive. And I just want to put this out there. It is not easy being an entrepreneur. A lot of people go in and think they're going to make money as soon as they start. It took me years. I've had a business for several years, and I didn't see it come until the pandemic started. So I do share through social media. I also go through people that are, social media, people that have become popular through social media. I, message them, hey, do you mind if I send you a product and you just advertise for me? And I don't try not to spend money as well on advertisements because sometimes I feel like it flops. You spend the money and then you don't really get anything back in return. So I just push. Even if people are not liking or commenting or sharing, they see it. People are still going to see your stuff. Keep promoting, even if you get one like. That's just my take on it. It's not going to be easy. Keep sharing, keep promoting, and you'll get it. Even if it's 4 years from now. Just if it's what you want, keep going.
Great advice there. And from what I also learned recently, because I started my own little small business, but trying to finish up school right now, and then I'll be doing more into it. So as you can see, it's the Coward Conquer. So these are my t-shirts, and it's going to go places. Like you said, it may not take off right away, but guess what? As long as you take off and you decide that, listen, you're going to hold up, because I have these as well. So it's a Coward Conquers, as you guys can see. So I have my own little thingy going on, but I have not been putting 100% into it, and I'm going to be lazing on with Shanafi very soon. So hey, we're all in this to win this. So Randera.
I use social media. I have Facebook and Instagram, and I have pages on there. And as you just said, I'm not on there as much as I should be. And so I need to get back on my game and post more and share my content more, just to get out there. But I'm trying not to spend money on advertising because I agree with Chris. I don't think that it always pays off. I think I'll do better to just keep sharing it, because even if someone doesn't comment or doesn't like, it's being seen, and that's the important part.
That's right. That's what I understand. The videos are the best too. When you have your little videos going on, that's just a little tip there, guys, and I'm sure you all can attest to that. And now I'm going over to Olivia.
Yes, so everyone else, yes, social media, I share and I promote. Yeah. I also have a pop-up, my first pop-up shop next week that I'm doing, so that I invested in as well. That's about it. Like just social media and promoting. I also travel for my job, so I promote my products to everyone. I meet people every day, so that has been working out for me as well.
Right, network now
Yeah.
here, and I'm sure if that's okay with her, even after this show here tonight, you guys can probably liaison with her to find out, how she can help you to boost your promotion or whatever it is that she's doing, because I'm sure she's like that. She's willing to share if, you guys want to reach out to her. And I'm just saying that. Would that be okay, Shanafi?
I'm for building my own, and we can't wait for others to build us. We have to build each other. So I'm always available.
Right, and I know you're for empowerment as well, and that's what we are about, inspiring.
Story of my life.
Right. Yeah. So, what I want to ask you, what are some of the mistakes that you've made in establishing your business?
It's a question for me.
Yes.
Okay. I think the biggest mistake I made early on, not in this business because I learned it from the previous businesses, is waiting for the right time to do something. The right time is always yesterday. So, I mean, a lot of us, and previously when I did have a matchmaking company before that I sold off to one of the bigger giants, but in my 20s. But we tend to say, oh, when I finish school, when I save up all that money, when I get my packaging perfect, there is never a right time. Don't wait. You have an idea at 2 a.m. in the morning, go down and do that. Don't wait until the next day or 3 days or when things are perfect, because it's never going to be perfect. The other one is, somebody mentioned it, that we go in business and we think that right off the bat, we're going to make a lot of money. We're not going to make a lot of money. Just when I started this brand, I was working in for the government. So I was working 27-hour shifts and coming home in my basement with my partner and doing 6 hours and then going back to work. It is not easy. You have to invest in yourself. You have to have a mindset that I am going to make it. If you started off business saying that I might make it, you are not going to make it. And no risk, no rewards. You have and not listened to others. If you come to somebody with an idea and say, you know what, I want to do this, and they say to you, why don't you wait? Or why are you going to do this? Or don't you see a million other people doing that? You need to walk away from that person and do not listen. There is always something in the back of our head telling us that we can't. Don't you ever listen to that. And as business people, I think this is one of the biggest mistakes we make. When we're starting off small, we tend to get a lot of help from others. You owe no one any obligation. Don't build your business on the fact that Stacy helped me, so I always have to make myself available to Stacy. Don't be afraid to grow and outgrow. A lot of us do not grow because we do not change the environment we started in. And that's a mistake. I made that mistake. When I moved away from that environment that I started in, when I stopped feeling obligated to those who helped me in the beginning, then I started to bloom.
Very great advice. It's just like myself, like you said, your idea came to you at some point in time of the day. I was actually studying past midnight, deep in my studying, focusing on my studying. And I know that I always wanted to motivate others because I have been through a lot, still going through a lot, and still trying to uplift others. And I started out by doing, I mean, I know we're talking about business, but this is somewhat some sort of business per se, or, just how you establish an idea. And I used to come on Facebook on Saturdays, just talking to people because I can talk. And someone had the audacity to tell me, "Oh, look at you. You can talking about you trying to motivate people." And like you said, I never listened. You're not talking to me. Don't talk defeat to me. When you do that, you're only strengthening me. You're only gassing me. So out of that, I got in, collaborated with a few other ladies, and here we are, ladies uplifting and inspiring, and that's why we have you guys here tonight. So that's a part of rising. I just wanted to share that with our viewers. And Ebony, what are some of the mistakes that you have done and could have avoided?
Mistakes I've made, I would say similar to what you guys are talking about, not believing in myself more. Because I was like, oh, I should only do a limited amount of different things, like whatever business I started, not even just with the self-care boxes, like even when it came to my t-shirts or whatever like business I would start, I would just be like, I'm going to start small so that way I can see if people want it. But it's like, no, you have to think big ahead of time. Like you don't have to invest big ahead of time, but you have to think big ahead of time so you can move yourself into that bigness and then keep moving and motivate yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself initially, it's going to keep carrying on into the rest of your business. So I felt like I should have believed more in myself and not like Shanafi said, and you, like not letting other people tell me like, oh, you should be doing that. A million other people are doing that. That's market is already saturated. So just allowing those things to deter me and like, okay, I'm going to think small. And it's like, if you believe in God, like God never wants us to think small. So we should always shoot for the stars or beyond or whatever. So it's like, and if it doesn't work, he gives you that grace and you learn from it and you move on. So I would rather, I'm learning to think big now as opposed to like starting off so small.
Awesome. And Carissa, what are some of the mistakes that you could have avoided?
One major mistake I would have to say is inconsistency. I was not consistent in the beginning with promotion, trying to promote my business so that people can see that, hey, I'm here, I'm offering this product or I'm offering this service. I think I would get a little discouraged if I saw that somebody wasn't liking or sharing or commenting, and then I just be like, okay, I'm just not going to even share it because people don't see it. But like I said before, people see it. So my biggest issue or my biggest mistake was just being not consistent with posting everything. You have to be consistent. Just keep posting, post every day if you can, but you have to be consistent. And that was my big, I was not being consistent.
Okay, thank you for letting us know that. So we're learning from your mistakes as well. Randera, how about you?
I think a bit of procrastination. I would have or I guess I could say I have the ideas for things and won't do them. Like it took me a long time to, as I said, I first started making this butter back in 2013. And I want to say people started encouraging me to sell it in 2016. I didn't start this until the beginning of this year. So I don't know if it was a fear of what would happen or just it's just I procrastinate. I hold off on doing things. So it's pushing myself to do the idea when I get it and just run with it.
Very well said. And I just want to tap in a little bit on that too. Sometimes procrastination is good. Don't knock me. Let me explain why. I have been writing my book for over 15 years. All right. Now, I was speaking to someone. I actually have a date that I'm going to be launching it coming soon. It's a Coward Conquers as well. So that's where my line came from. And I was speaking to someone a few weeks ago, and he said to me, don't worry about it. Because I was like, I've been working and talking about this book, and people think that probably, oh, she's just gowing. But he said to me, guess what? That book it wasn't time for that book to be released because there were some things that would have been left out of that book. And guess what? That is so true. So true. So look out for it, guys. It's coming soon. How about you, Olivia? What are some mistakes that could have been avoided?
Well, some mistakes that could have been avoided was just my lack of discouragement. Like Caressa said, like when I launched my business on social media, I did not see a lot of support, and I kind of got discouraged. But I had family and friends encourage me and let me know that it's just the beginning. People, they do see it, so what can you do? Just keep promoting yourself, and yeah.
Okay, thank you for that input. And how do you know when it's the right idea? I'm starting with you, Olivia. I'm going.
Mhm.
How do
Wait,
you
can you repeat that? Okay.
how do you know when you have the right idea?
Um, like my business.
Yes, as a
Oh
related.
well, I just felt it in my heart, like in my energy.
Okay, how about you?
For me, I knew that this one was right because it just came naturally. I didn't have to put thought into it. It was something that I was already doing. And so I feel like the best businesses are the things that come the most naturally to you.
Okay, thank you for sharing that, Caressa.
I didn't know, actually. I didn't know. Um, I just kind of put it out there and I prayed on it. That's all I can do is put it out there and pray because it made me feel good. And the only thing I can do is pray that it made everybody else feel the same way I did. But I really didn't know. I just put it out there. And it wasn't like I was just throwing a product out there, but I threw it out there because it made me feel good. And I just wanted it to make other people feel good as well.
Okay, and Ebony.
Mhm.
For me, I think it's always a mixture of if I feel fearful, like this is too big for me, but at the same time it excites me. So I'm like, oh, this is something I love to do, which is collaborating with other Black businesses, with moms, with women. But I also love encouraging other people and making sure that they're well taken care of. I mean, that's when you're oldest child, you're used to taking care of everybody else. So I was like, I need to do this. And it was something my husband actually encouraged as well, because sometimes he'll be like, wait, just put that to the side real quick. Like, think about that a little bit longer. But for this one, he was like, wow, you're actually getting in motion. You're actually contacting people. You're actually putting things together. You're finding the boxes. You're, actually doing things without me motivating you. So he's like, this definitely, I'm behind you 100%. And if he was willing to pay for it, I was willing to do it. So
Awesome, you have the backative there. Thank goodness.
yes.
Okay, and Shanafi.
I knew it was the right idea. I've always known I had something good going on, but for two or three reasons. One, I am from a country where 10% of the population are bleaching their skin. So one, I needed to give them an alternative to that. However, I saw what the products did for people who had all these issues that are associated with the melanated skin and with the afro hair. So the results told me I was on the right path and I needed to develop it.
Wow, that's right there. The bleaching thing. It's very serious. People don't understand that when you bleach, it goes straight into your bloodstream. And you see how many people dying these days of cancers, all kinds of sicknesses, and don't even know where it stems from. Some of these things, I'm sure. And when you look on their skin, it's so thin and it's like crazy, crazy. But thank you, ladies, for sharing that information. So, another question I would like to ask you: how do you plan on growing your business?
Okay, I can start since my mic is on. Um, how do I plan on growing it more? Our aim ultimately is that Zyzven Naturals should be the preferred brand of skincare and hair care products for the melanated skin. One of the things you cannot be in business, you cannot be selfish. And you have to know when you need help and when you need to invite other people in. So my model, tested and proven for building this business, is having other Black women come on board and start their company, meaning they register a company selling the Zyzven Naturals brand. I chose that model. We currently have maybe, I don't know, 56, 57 people doing that. Most are in the United States and the United Kingdom. I chose that model because so often I see people doing this multi-level marketing thing and have this illusion that they're business people, and they're not. If you're not physically holding the product you're selling, you're not running a business unless you're providing a service.
Wow.
So that way, these women, and it's always going to be Black women, sorry for anyone who's offended, I grow my brand and these women grow their income, grow their business, because I believe, coming from an extremely poor background, I know that if we change the economic situation of a woman, you are changing the economic situation of 3 generations. That woman, her child, and her grandchildren. It takes 3 generations to break the cycle of poverty. It doesn't, and a lot of these women, and one thing, ordinary women, I didn't want somebody who was already made. I needed somebody who their child or their neighborhood kids could look up and say, I want to be like her, and see a Black face to that person they want to be like. So that's my model for growing the business, incorporating other women in there, empowering them, inspiring them, so that they too see that, okay, I might come from the wrong side of the fence, but I too can be a multimillionaire. I too can inspire my children. I can stay exactly where I am at without the college degrees, the fancy letters behind my name, and I can grow. So that's my model. Through other people, through empowering other people, build a brand.
Aren't those words just profound, very spectacular? And that's a mindset that we need to have. And that's why ladies uplifting and inspiring, I can't say it too often, that's what we're about. That's our aim, is to uplift especially females, because a lot of us tend to think that when we get used, abused, and we fall by the wayside, that we're just to wallow in that pity part and have a pity party. No, get up. And with that being said, I just want to shout out Millionaire Mindset Sisterhood. You can find them on Facebook, and that's Millionaire Mindset Sisterhood. And their aim and objective is to break the mindset of poverty. So there, you said it. You said it, Shanafi. You said it. So I just wanted to shout them out as well. Okay, so Ebony, how do you plan on growing your business?
I feel like what I'm doing now is just a small part of what I need to do in the future, because I'm actually a certified health and wellness coach. And my passion actually, for the most part, is helping more so pregnant women. So I want to move more into like the doula work and helping women in that way, because kind of like Shanafi said, we're working with different generations and we want to break poverty. And just the trajectory that God has me on, I'm just like, wow, just starting off with something small as a self-care box and getting so much feedback and encouragement from different women and how they felt seen in this season of so much pandemic issues going on and racial issues and tensions and whatnot going on. So it's like that was almost like the catalyst for me to go into more of helping women growing as they're having children during these times and things like that, and helping them in the health and wellness, because I think Caressa was talking about how putting different things in our bodies and making sure everything we have is not, contaminating us. So I think that is more so like, this was God's little like, okay, I'll let you have this little one, but you need to move on to what you're really supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for sharing with us. And Carissa, can you tell us how you plan on growing your business?
Yes, definitely keep promoting. And I really would like to get into even retail stores, whether it's local or, nationally. I would rather start locally just to see how it would go. I've been trying, actually, it's a process, but that's my next step. That's how I would like to see it, continue to grow and expand, getting it into stores.
Awesome. And Rendera?
My ultimate goal is to eventually be in stores. So I want to continue to expand on the line that I'm creating. Eventually have an entire hair product line and be able to be in stores as an entire brand.
Okay, thank you. And Olivia?
I would love to form like some partnerships with stores. That would help me expand. That's like my main goal, and also like giving back to the community, and just getting to know what my customers really like, and just still keep using social media and promoting, and just having great customer service.
Okay,
Yeah.
those are well, great strategy that you have to improving and building your business, Olivia. Very, very great idea. And Shanafi, I want to ask you, and how did you build your team?
Well, that I used social media for. As I said, I have my own platform on social media, but it goes back to 2018. um, when you have had one of those inspiring moments, and I think it was the 31st of December 2018. I was just about to start a 24-hour shift at my work. I work in mental health before, and I said, you know what, a new year is coming. And I started to think, and on my way to work, I was late for work that day because I went in my basement, I started my camera, and I said, you know what? I am on to something great. And I don't need anyone to validate that greatness. So guess what? 2019, it is going to be the year for Zyzven Naturals. I feel it. I actually said the spirit of the Maroons told me that. I'm a Jamaican Maroon. And I want you guys, some ladies, to join me in building this brand. And I gave the story how Uber at the time, 5 years in, did not make a profit, how Amazon took a decade to make a profit, and how these small companies, if we have bought into them, PayPal, Skype, Amazon, Facebook, when their shares were just $1, we would have all been millionaire now, but nobody buys into something in the beginning.
Right.
But what I said also was that, you know what, I just don't want people just selling my products. I want you to build a business selling the product. And some people were inspired to join the Zyzven Naturals family, and they did. And so in 2019, we grew like 640% according to my accountant. And it was no shares. We plan to go public in about 4 or 5 years. So
Wow.
that was how really I got people. And now if somebody comes to me, it doesn't necessarily mean that they fit the brand. I
Right.
am very, I'm not the easiest person to work with. You have to put in the work. You have to, because you're selling a product that doesn't need to sell itself. That you don't need to sell. You're selling a product that you don't need to sell. So I have to feel that you believe in the power of Black women uniting. You believe in your child not being shot in the back. And the way to do that is economic freedom. We can speak about all sort of freedom, but without economic freedom, we're getting nowhere. That is the divide between us and them. It's the economics of it, everything else we have. So whoever joins my team or joins the Zyzven Naturals family usually have to be a Black woman who believes that she is capable and worthy of breaking that cycle of poverty.
Amen. There you have it, viewers. I hope that you are listening keenly, attentively, and I do hope that you're taking notes if you're someone who forgets easily. Okay. Now, among us ladies, anyone else who has a team, and how did that team come about? Was it easy to get other members or for you to join a team? Anyone else want to shed some light on that, please? No one else is in a team. What about you, Ebony? Because I heard you mentioning about the nurse and somebody else. Was it hard for you to join them or be a part of that?
Not at all. Most of them most of them I met at church. So thankfully they were nice church people. But I met them and it wasn't hard. Like we meshed very well. And like I said, most of their businesses are very young. So they were willing to, like, I was one or two of their first wholesale orders. So when I ordered this stuff, it was just like it helped to give them that push. And I really like what Shanafi was saying about women and their economic freedom, because that's what something that I talk about a lot on my social media. Just seeing what my mom went through being a single mom of 5 children. So that was something like joining as a team. I was happy to work with them. They were happy to work with me. And we're actually, two of us actually teaming up to start our own business to continue with the self-care boxes as well as other health and wellness items.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And what I want to ask, I know Shanafi's business is a giant one compared to all of us other businesses on here tonight. And she did mention some great pointers about stocks and investing, right? So the question that I want to ask is, I know it's still early for all of us here, but do you plan on retiring from your business, and at what point?
I do. I'll go first, I guess. I wasn't sure if anyone was going to go, but I do. I plan to pass it down to my daughter. She's 8 and she already talks about it. You can you can have it, okay? But that's the point, to create, like I said, generational wealth. I want my kids to be able to benefit from my business, but I want if she wants to run this business, she can definitely do so. So I'm trying to teach her at a young age. Even my son, he's 4, and I tried to launch something for him as well over the summertime, but definitely I would like to retire and leave it for my kids and their children and so forth.
Okay, great. And I myself, my daughter, she just started her own little business in Jamaica. She's doing it on social media, Facebook and Instagram. So also, how can I forget to shout her out? Everything by Tal. By Tal, if you search for her on Instagram or Facebook, everything by Tal. Okay, so she just started her own little thing, selling to her. I think her niche market right now is her school friends. So far, the customers that I'm seeing, but she's just 15. She just turned 15 on Monday. She doesn't look like it though, but she looks way younger. But that's the way to go, like you said, to get your children involved. Because as funny as it may sound, my 3-year-old son, every time I'm finished with this meeting on a Friday, he comes, "Mommy, how was your meeting?" Like he just shocks me. Like nobody, like he just comes, "Mommy, how was your meeting?" So like you said, getting the children involved from an early age is key. And how about you, Shanafi?
Well, my son has his own line. I have a 9-year-old, and my oldest is 9, and the boy loves money. So he had I started out by having him sell bottles, really collecting bottles and selling them because he loves money.
Wow.
And then when he started getting a bit older, now we have started a seasoning line for him, where we're doing seasoning without the sodium, because a lot of we eat a lot of things that's not so healthy. Look at me. So we need without the salts and everything like that. I have also, not my child, but I have a little 8-year-old girl I'm mentoring, and she's just about to launch her tea herbal line, her tea line this month here. She's 8 years old. She's actually in this house today because they I try to help encourage the ladies on. I call them my boss ladies because I might be the root, but they're the branch. They're who shudders me. I'm nothing without the ladies of the Zyzven Natural, and I try to encourage them to get your children involved in your business. Too often in the Black community, we have this small business mindset. And when we die, because we all die, then the business dies with us. And I'm trying to break that. Get your children on early. I always say if there's one thing we can adapt from the Asians, is having their children there early so it is natural for them to just transition the business on. So My kids are in it. My kids, they're the ones who, my labels are never ever perfect because it's my kids who attach the labels. um, they're, as I said, they're 9, 7, and 3, and they all have to pull their weight in it. They want the money, they have to earn it and learn to earn it very early.
You are serious about your business. Like you said, selling bottles. That stood out in my head just now. I remember myself selling bottles. I remember myself as a little girl selling limes. Every summer when I get holiday from primary school, I would go with my uncles to the bush. You know, in Jamaica, you call it bush. And this man, he had like a farm with lime trees. You'd be saying a farm with lime trees? Yes, and it was down in a valley, and I used to have to bring those big crocus bags. You remember those crocus bags, those big brown looking bags, from down in the valley up onto the hill to put it down so the buyers can come and buy them. That's how I used to make money during summertime when I was in primary school. So I know what you're talking about. And thank you for sharing that. Now I'm going over to Olivia. The question is, we know that
Oh,
you're
I'm trying to mute.
early. You want to know.
Yes. Yeah, my children, they're already involved in helping me. So I am definitely gonna retire and give it, the business to them, and then, they can pass it on to generation. So yeah,
So you feel
definitely.
more trusting,
Yes.
remarkable. How about you, Rendera?
I definitely at some point plan to retire. I currently do not have children. Honestly, don't know if I plan to. But uh, my sister has some. Her children are more than welcome to take over my business. Because I don't want to do it forever. So at some point, yes.
Okay, and Ebony.
I don't plan on retiring from self-care boxes, but that is a business. My daughter, she actually likes helping me, kind of like what Shanafi says, like she likes to put the labels on and she likes to help me put like the cute girly stuff inside the box. So that's something she enjoys. And she's like all into my business when I, like you said, with your son. And she's like, oh, on your Wellness Wednesday, did you guys journal this week? And I'm like, come on, man. She loves to be involved in that and just like to know my schedule of what I post on social media. So I'm glad to see that she knows that there's structure, because she had her own business for a while. She actually had a business before I did. She wanted to go to ballet school, so she sold bracelets and necklaces that she handmade until she made enough money to go. And now she's ready to do that again. She's actually going to make her own what is it, boss girl box with her boss friends that are little girls. So yeah, so I definitely plan to retire, but not from boxes. It'll definitely be from something else, because my husband's into stocks and options, so it might happen
I
sooner than
do
later.
stocks and options too, so I know how
Yeah,
that works. Very
right.
good. Oh yes. And it took me a while. I remember years I used to ask people on Facebook, anybody knows about stock? And I just, since the pandemic, I mean, this pandemic has been such a blessing for so many people. So many lives have changed since this pandemic. So you always hear the saying, out of evil comes good. So this is what we're talking about. Like I just got vexed one day and went on the internet, started to do my own research, and here comes stock. And I just kept learning, taking bits and pieces and trial and error. Because, like Shanafi said in the get go of this conversation, the greater the risk, the greater the return. Just remember that, guys. I learned that in finance class when I was in UTech, and I'll never ever forget that. Yeah. So, have anyone ever experienced failure? And if so, what did you do to overcome?
I might just go ahead and answer it. Yeah, I did. I have experienced failure. Um, when you do a lot of things, something is bound to show you another way of doing it. So I didn't start out by making my products. I started out by having a shop where I live. I live in Sweden, 10 million population. The Black population is 200,000. I am well and truly a minority here. And I live in rural Sweden. So I think I'm the one of 3 Black people in my whole community. Yeah, well, my kids. And so when I started out having a shop, I realized the location for the shop was wrong. However, people still needed the advice that I had when it comes to skincare, when it comes to hair care. So I just revamped and started over. When I started getting people in my business, I had a team that wasn't right for the business. I had a team that didn't understand that the branch cannot survive without the roots, if you put it that way. And what I do like any entrepreneur would do. I got rid of them. No, don't you ever be afraid to get rid of people. I got rid of them, and here we are now. 2019 was the year for us, and 2020 will be the year for my boss ladies. So you just start over. You say, okay, it's just like if you drive down a road and suddenly the road is blocked. You have to go another direction. You don't sit and cry.
Got a detour.
You detour. So that's how I deal with failure. Okay, that happened. I can't do anything about it. Next thing.
Next. I love you, Shanafi, and I am not disappointed that I have met you. Oh my goodness, I have learned so much in such short space of time. Viewers, what do you say? Don't forget to comment, participate on this live, okay? Don't forget. Now, Ebony, have you encountered failure? If so, how did you handle it?
Plenty of failure. I think I'll say most recent would have been with my t-shirts. And I think it was because I branded it wrong and I didn't search or research my demographic well. So originally I wanted it to be for just women. And when I launched it, I was getting more men and younger people that were interested. I was like, oh, I want it to be for people my age and they're going to like it because we're talking about not being, going with the norm and being anti-trend and things like that. But I kept getting men asking me for it. And they're like, when are you launching the men's line? And then I had like a lot of people in the community reaching out for that deal with youth and stuff. And they were like, oh, this would be great for the youth. And I was like, that's not what I made this for. So I think because I didn't adapt to that, that's what slowed me down in business, because I was still trying to push what I wanted when the people that needed it and connected with it were coming to me telling me that that's what they wanted. So that was my failure, was not paying attention to my market.
So how did you go about revamping?
I didn't as of yet. My husband is actually working on that right now. So we're going to relaunch next year and make sure we go with the right demographic this time.
That is so true, because myself, I just wanted to show you guys again, like when I thought about my shirt line, like from high school, I knew that I was going to come out with a line, but I was thinking of my name, Cleopatra, then. But then when the idea of A Coward Conquers came up, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make everything A Coward Conquers, because it has a very powerful line there. So I'm like, let's conquer the world, stepping out fashionably. That's my tagline. So I thought about it and I did like some big prints. Whenever I got although I'm so tongue tied, the design of the shirts, I thought about the big prints, and I also thought about the small prints, and I put them on different sides of the shirt and all of that. And I thought about kids. So this is a small version, like for a teenager. I have the ones for my son's age as well. And like you said, guess who was reaching out to me for shirts more? The men. And they all liked the bigger print. So like you said, you have to know your niche market, which before we close, we're gonna ask you guys to give some tips on, when you're starting a business, what to do, what not to do, because you have to also do your SWOT analysis, the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, your niche market, and all of that. I learned that when I was doing marketing, which I don't really use it much, but I was like, why am I learning this? But hey, in today's world, we need all of that, So thank you for sharing. What about you, Rendera? What about your failures? And if you did encounter any, how did you recover?
I wouldn't say that I've had any big failures yet. Well, no, I wouldn't say it was a big failure. Before I did my big, not big launch, but before I decided to really launch, I decided to change the formula that I was using, essentially, which actually worked out better than I thought that it was going to, because the one that I was using before was working, but just wasn't as good. But I think because I haven't been as consistent with my promo, I really haven't had a chance. I haven't given myself the chance to really fail because I haven't put myself out there as much as I should have. So I wouldn't say that I've had any major failures yet. Fingers crossed that I don't run across any.
Thank you so much for that information. That little bit there, it goes along with Olivia. What can
Yeah, I have had a quite few failures. Basically, the most important is measurements. When I'm, making my products, mixing the oils and the butters, because if you don't have the right measurements, the product will come out not right. And especially if you're making the body butter, it will be really grainy when you don't have the right measurements. And then also just forgetting to add something, because if you do, the product is not going to turn out right. So I had quite a few, and I don't like that because I'm wasting my money. So I try not to have any failures. Like I try to make sure my measurements are down packed and everything is fine. And then, hello? Oh,
Yes.
my phone is acting weird. And I just learned from it. I try to take my time and just try not to have too much distractions. Yeah.
Very, very important point you just made. In anything, even in nursing, especially any job, distraction can cost you somebody's life. It can cost you your business. It can cause you to make mistakes. So, guys, for you viewers, I just wanted to show you. This is one of the soaps from Shower Blooms. This is the rose milk, and it's not you are looking for like a square rectangular, but it has a little flair, a little style, a little attitude to it. If you see how the top of it is, this one right here, it's the Bloom Magic. So I'm just showing you guys. I bought it from her. This is advertisement for Shower Blooms, and here you have the sea moss, the bamboo sea moss, and y'all know the benefits of sea moss, and it's the real deal that she puts in her soap, guys. So hey, take a look. So you want to go check her out on Instagram, Facebook. I don't know if she has one, but I know Instagram, shower_blooms. So just giving you that little heads up there. Thank you so much for sharing, Olivia. And who I didn't ask, is it Caressa?
I'm pretty much the same boat as Randera. I haven't encountered any failures. Not to say I haven't had any hard times, but I've just never encountered anything where I'm just like, oh, I failed. Let me just try to start over. I haven't encountered anything. Just being honest, and I hope it's still smooth sailing. Besides, of course, becoming discouraged, but I haven't encountered anything that I
So
would consider a fail.
okay, let me ask you, since you and Rendera have not come upon any roadblocks yet, so to speak, what are you doing that is allowing you not to have come across any failures?
I'm just being I want to say I'm just being myself, but honestly, I don't know how to answer that. What am I doing to not come up with any failures? I'm just being true to, to myself, and I'm putting my all into my business. I know some people work a 9 to 5, but I'm not right now. So, I have the time, I can say, to put everything into my business. That's the only thing I'm doing. I'm just staying consistent. Like I said, I've learned from past mistakes where I wasn't consistent and might not have been getting the attention I needed, but I'm just being consistent. That's all I'm doing, is being consistent.
That is key. All right. What about Rendera?
Because I'm making a butter and it relies on me being consistent every time I make it, I like one of my labels lists all of my ingredients on the bottom. And so I make it a point to make sure before I get started that I have my list next to me so that I make sure that it's the same every time. That way I'm not making any errors. Every batch has exactly what it's supposed to have, and I don't end up with, as Olivia said, it gets a little grainy or it's not the way that it's supposed to. I just try to, and I take my time with each batch that I'm making because I genuinely care about the product and I genuinely care about why I'm making it. So honestly, I think that that's a big part of why I don't have any errors in that part of it. I make sure that I have it written down and I have that with me every time I go to make it. So I'm not missing any ingredient.
There you go.
Outside of that.
I was listening, and you're passionate about what you do, so you take it very serious. And that is very important. And I was listening for you guys to say, what about love? Do you make your products with love? Oh my goodness. Shanafi, what do you have to say?
As I say, the Zyzven Natural products, it represents my legacy, my Jamaican maroon roots. It is also representing the legacy of the future of the ladies that are on my team and our children. So yeah, I put everything in my products, every single thing. I just want to backtrack a moment when it comes to the failure things. For me, with the formulation, all of my products have been tested. So I have a lab formulation I have to go by. Those are the rules in Europe. You can't just make something and put on the market. It has to be certified. My baby products have to be certified to be used on newborns. So for me, anybody can come and make my products now because there is the measurement, formulation, and stability that you have to follow. Yeah. So if you don't have love for what you're doing, it will feel tasking. I usually say to people, yes, in business, we want to make money, but you can't start a business just to make money. You have to love what you do. And that is why I was able to stand 24 hours. My people know it. Some days I'm on live 24 hours making my products, 24 hours, and then sleep 3 hours and back at it again. You have to love it to be able to do that.
Have to put love in it.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree 100%. You have to think love, do love, put love in it, put everything in it, like you said, in order for it. And like you mentioned earlier, Shanafi, like, you're thinking about others as well. And you're thinking about what would you like for yourself? Would you like a quantity over quality, or would you like quality over quantity? So these are things that you have to take into consideration when you're doing anything, especially establishing and promoting and sustaining your business. You have to. So I just want to also take this moment to shout out It's KK CMOS. Go over to Instagram. She has distribution here in the United States and Canada. It's KK. So it's ITS CMOS. And also it's SKK CMOS underscore USA and SKKCMOS_CA. So go check them out. Also, I want to shout out to Uplift You. If you want a personal trainer, go over to Facebook. You can check him out, Uplift You. He will give you some great advice. A lot of us, we put on weight during this pandemic. Some of us were home, and like myself, I'm shedding some pounds myself. I'm looking at myself every day, and I feel better, and I'm looking better because at the end of the day, who's going to take care of you if you don't take care of you? So go and check him out. And also, Body by Hastings. She's actually my coach. She was a special guest on here on Ladies Uplifting and Inspiring a few weeks ago. I fell in love with her regime, just like Shanafi. I like your work ethic, and I fall in love with her. And she's now my coach. So just take a hop over to Instagram, Facebook, Body by Hastings. And before I go further, I just want to say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Sigourney. It's your birthday, Sigourney. Happy birthday. I hope that you live to see many, many more. Continue to do what you're doing, and you're doing a great job. So I just wanted to shout her out. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so I have one last question for you guys before I go to the viewers segment with their question. So the question I want to ask you ladies is, I know Shanafi, she has the answer, but I'm asking everybody. As an entrepreneur and the leader, owner of your businesses, how can you be a good leader, an exemplary leader for your business, for others to come to you?
I can
Carson,
go.
you want to go?
Okay, sure, I'll go. By providing good customer service. I think that is the key. When you provide good customer service to your customers, it opens up a door. I know it sounds cliche, but saying the customer is always right. Your business, that's you, that's your brand. So when a customer comes to you, they're trusting you. They can go anywhere else, but they came to you. They didn't go to a big retailer, they came to your business. So I think it's very, very important that we offer, good customer service to our customers. I think top. That's the top priority.
Okay, thank you so much for that tip. And I'm going over to Rendera.
I agree with that. To piggyback on that, essentially, I feel like it's necessary to show your customers that you appreciate their business. I think a lot of companies tend to take for granted that they're in business because of their customers. And so I think when you show that you appreciate the fact that they took their time to actually come to shop with you, it makes a difference.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. And what about you, Olivia?
Yes, I agree with Caressa and Randera. Definitely customer service. And yeah, customer service. You have to make sure, your customers are happy, and, you have to let them, come back and shop with you, appreciate them, you know, yeah,
Okay,
customer service.
and like you did, you sent me that little thing of oil, and my son, I was there so busy and so hyped up, looking at the soaps, checking them out. He just took that little thing, opened it, and there goes everything on the bed. I was like, oh my,
Oh man.
I just have a
I'm definitely
little
gonna
bit.
send you over another one, because you did place another order. So I
Yeah.
will send it over. It's a cocoa butter body. It's a cocoa butter cream. Like we use a lot of hand sanitizers that dries out our hands. So I have been given I have been giving it away to customers, so I can get reviews and see if they like it, then I'll sell it.
You can go into it.
Yeah.
Right. What about, can you just shout out your sister's business? I am here. I
Oh
mean,
yes, my sister Tatiana, her business is called Leveling Colors. She sells healing oils for like tension in the body, migraines, and also uplifting healing oils. Also for menstrual cramping, healing oil, and synergy. That's to, you're feeling down with your energy. You put some synergy on and it uplifts you. It has a nice citrus smell. I use it every morning. So yeah, her website is www.levelingcolors.com. Hey Tati.
I'm sure she's watching. So yeah, you couldn't leave.
Yeah.
That's what we're about: empowering, encouraging, motivating,
Oh
uplifting,
yeah.
and edifying. Your concern concerns us. Now, Ebony, what about you? What do you have to say?
For me, I think authenticity and integrity are important when it comes to, connecting with your customers or even with your teammates as well once you expand your business, if you work with others. But I think people really connect with stories. That's a big thing in marketing, is like people, they don't buy into your product, they buy into you. So they need to connect with you prior to deciding to spend their money. So for me, like, I always send a little thank you note, a handwritten note. I have to stop doing that. My hand gets so cramped. But it's important to me because I know people like those little touches of, just seeing their name or knowing that somebody cared enough to sit down and write a note specifically for them. So yeah, and then allowing them on the journey. So a lot of my people follow me on Instagram and they see like me and my kids and see where I started from and the difficulties that I've had and stuff. So they are willing to support because they've seen the journey and they're like, oh, she's authentic on and offline, so I can trust her. So building trust with that authenticity and then also keeping your integrity.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for that. Those are very, very important as well. And Rendera, did you tell us about how are you there, Rendera?
Yes, but I answered that question already.
Already. Okay, so Shanafi, it's your turn. Sorry about that.
Yeah, for me or for us, one, it's putting good products out there because fulfilling a need, really. Um, However, specifically to my business, my customers have followed me from that kitchen in Mandeville to the factory in Sweden. They have followed it's been a 3-year journey for them. And a lot of people can connect with me. A lot of people, they know my story. I was that sexually molested child who grew up in extreme poverty. I was that person who left Jamaica as a teenager and saying, I'm going to make life for myself.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have been through that journey. And I don't know, people say I inspire them. I don't know, I'm just here doing what I do. Whilst I don't believe the customer is always right, I believe that I can understand the customer's point of view and I can empathize and apologize where it's needed. But I tend to not think the customer is always right. They're right in their opinion, so I'm kind of a bit different from that. And also, now I don't really deal a lot with customer service. My boss ladies do that part. I'm just focused on manufacturing. So to be a good leader, you have to know when to step back and let somebody else shine. I might make the products, but I'm not the smartest person in the room or in the group.
Wow.
So my strength is making the products, formulating the products. Somebody else is stronger than me at dealing with customer service. So it's not taking on too much and know when to let go and being yourself, as the young ladies say, having your integrity and stand for that you believe in, even when it is not popular.
Awesome. So I'm going to the viewers. I have a question from one of our viewers. What are some of the tips you all can give here as a new business, someone who is just starting, and how to go about promoting business? So the question is, what are some tips you can give someone who is about to start a new business? What ideas and how to promote their business? So I want to hear from all you ladies. Sorry, but Shana Faye, since you already have the mic, if you could just answer, then we're gonna go down the line.
I think education, that was one of the things that worked for us. We weren't just selling something to a customer. Even if you weren't buying it, at least you knew what was in it, you know how it was formulated, what it is good for, and the background story. Inform people as to why you're doing this and why they need to have this as opposed to something somewhere else. So educating, the best promotion is educating. An educated consumer makes informed choices.
There you go. There you go. You hit that nail, bam, right on the head. How about you, Rendera?
I would say consistency. Be as consistent as possible with everything that you're doing. Whether it be promotion, making, if you're creating something, make sure that you're being consistent with the stuff that you're using. Just consistency, because if you're not, then it's not going to go anywhere.
Thank you for sharing that tip. How about you, Ebony?
For me, I would say, like, since marketing is a big part of starting, especially for a new business, I would say find your choose 2 modes of social media if that's your route that you're going to go, and master those, because a lot of people try to be everywhere and try to do everything, and then they get overwhelmed by trying to market here and there and do a whole bunch of different stuff. But like if you want to do Instagram and then Facebook, or if you're going to do Twitter and Facebook or whatever, just find 2 modes and stick with those until you're able to move into it, because you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to be like, okay, this is too much, and then different people are going to need different things. Your customers, you're going to have to reach them in different ways. So I would say just stick to 2 social media platforms.
You ladies have so much bright ideas. I just want to piggyback on what Ebony just said. Very smart idea. And also, you have some people saying, oh, they do this, they do that. Sometimes you have to focus, narrow in on 1 or 2 products. You can't be a jack of all trades sometimes, because some of us, we don't know how to multitask. So just bear in mind that sometimes you may have to stick to 1 product at a time and then build on, or you need to finish what you start. So that's just my tip. So I'm going over to Olivia.
Okay, yes. Can you hear me? My phone keeps acting weird.
Yes,
Okay, so my advice is to, just keep motivated, just, be consistent, and just be positive through all your ups and downs throughout your journey of business, and just keep promoting yourself and don't get discouraged.
thank you so much for sharing that tip with our viewers. And Carissa, what do you have to say?
I would say figure out what it is that you want to do and research it. Research. A lot of times might see someone else selling something and say, okay, I like that. I can, I might try to go ahead and do that, but they don't, they're not educated on it, and they just put something out there and they know nothing about it. They just think they're just going to make money. And I think that's what kind of differentiates between a hustler and an entrepreneur. You have to know what you're selling. You have to do your own research. So let it be something that you love, that you're passionate about. Don't just sell something because you think it's going to make you money. I think that's very important.
Extremely. You guys, I should have given you guys a test. Oh my God, you guys all got straight A's. Believe you me. What do you say, viewers? What are your concerns, viewers? Let us hear from you. Remarkable, remarkable, remarkable tips, remarkable advices. Fantastic. Mm. Now, last words before we close. What are some do's and don'ts for starting your business to the point of where you want it? I just ask you to share that with our viewers, please. I know that you did share some of that with this question here, but last advice, do's and don'ts for starting up your business to get it where you want it. You can start, Chanafi.
Why me? Yeah, one of the don'ts is never accept a no. Never ever accept a no. What you need to do, you need to be consistent. One of the things I'm not hearing from my sisters over there in the US is how do they go about getting their products certified? If you want to move out of your house or your kitchen into somebody's retail store, you have to produce something that when I use it, I don't have adverse effects on my skin. You have to produce something that getting insurance. You guys, I don't know how, I don't hear anyone say, oh, I have insurance. So you have to have the rules are a bit different when you're manufacturing in Europe. And because I sell in Canada, I also have to follow the Canadian and the Japanese and other rules like that. The rules in the US, but if you are going to go from your little kitchen, like I did, to the wider world, you have to have your paperwork. For example, myself, I have an FDA manufacturing number. I have a Canadian health and safety number. I have a European Union cosmetology number. So my home, my factory is open for inspection any day. So it's getting your products and letting people know that when they get something from you, product or service, you can sell it with confidence. And if in the case somebody have an allergic reaction, you have an insurance that covers that. Marketing, a lot of people say it. I so believe in a product that markets itself. We have been lucky at Zyzven Naturals that we don't need to sell. It markets itself. But marketing, being consistent, when you grow, a lot of us, small businesses, we tend, when we grow, we water down the products. We either water down the quality of the product or we skyrocket the prices. Know when it is too much for you. Like me, I knew that I could no longer post out 100 letters and still manufacture the quality that my customers are used to. So invite other people in to grow with you. Don't be selfish. Stick at it, stick at it, stick at it. Detours, roadblocks are gonna come, but brush them off and move on. If the milk spills out of the cup, you can't take it up. You wipe it up and you step over, or you step over it and you go and you come back to it. So consistency, excellent products, and something that people need, and know when you need to let go. If you have something that you've been trying, park it for a minute, do something else, come back. Have a flagship product. Like we have like quite a few flagship products. Have something that will sell your other products. Stick at it that way and you'll get to where you want to go. Maybe in less time than I did.
But your business is less than 5 years since you launched and skyrocketed.
This brand is going to be 3 years old because my son name is Zyzven. He's born in November, and the brand is named after him. So
wow,
so it's approaching 3 years old. This brand, the company is a bit older, but the brand, I've stopped everything else and just focus on this brand now. It's 3 years old, and most businesses fail within the first 5 years. And we have to know when we just can go to bed with a little pasta or noodle in order to pay for the business. And I have done that. I have done when I to get my products certified. I have done when I've finished paying for them. I didn't have money for food, but I had friends who sent me their credit cards to use. Yeah, I have friends because when I had it, I always share. So yeah, so you have to know when to let other people in.
Right.
You know, 10 of us can be good at something. Because I let you in and you're earning doesn't mean that I'm earning less. And for me, it is not just selling a product. I'm building a brand.
An empire.
So I have a little different approach.
Wow. And your business is also in Japan, if my memory.
Yes, we have sellers in Japan. We have sellers in the US, the Cayman. From Jamaica to Japan, we have sellers.
Wow.
And it is doable, ladies. Nobody knows who I am. I was on social media a long time before people even knew I make products, because I used to white label, make products for other people while I was doing my 9 to 5. I am not from wealth, as you guys can see. I am still the same person I was a decade ago, 60 pounds more, but I'm still the same person I was a decade ago. And I don't have the influential friends. I don't pay influencers. Put something out there that fulfills a need, and you can stay in your bed and sign those checks. It's as simple as that. Put something, we're fulfilling a need. All of the hair loss, the eczema, put something out there. And as Black women, we need to be the face of our business. And one of the reasons, I'm not racist, I have biracial children. However, one of the reasons I stick to my Black women, oftentimes there is this misconception that as Black people, we need the others with us to push our business. So I wanted to have something that was exclusive for Black, so that I have a fully Black child too, that my child and my boss lady's children have that Black role model. And that day when we go public, because believe you me, we are going public, it will be just Black women standing there at the bell. So.
Wow. There you have it, guys. Wow, what can I say? What can I say? I have learned so much as a host. Oh my goodness. Ebony, do's and don'ts to close.
I cannot with this coming after Shanafi.
Sorry.
I would say I don't really have a do right now, but for don't, I would say don't pay for what you can't afford. There's so much free stuff out here, and don't try to keep up with the Joneses, because a lot of people, they'll look on social media, be like, oh, I have to have these beautiful pictures. I have to pay for this. I have to pay for that. Don't do that. Like, we need to go back to bartering as well. Like, I have friends that are photographers. They may not be professional photographers, or they may not charge for their service, but I'm like, they know how to take pictures. I mean, iPhones, as much as y'all pay for them, y'all better be able to take some pictures, but like, have somebody else take your pictures, and maybe you can have, you have something that they may need. It may not have to do with your business, but learn how to barter. And even look in your community, like look at college students. They're always looking for more things to do. Or if you need more help, look for people that will not necessarily intern, but like that will work for you for a short period of time, and that can help, and they can use that on their resume or something. So don't pay for what you can't afford to try to look like, you know, your business is farther along than it is.
Wow, there you go. Thank you so much for sharing that. Very great idea, very great tip as well. Rendera.
I would say one of my biggest do's is enjoy the process, and watch your own journey. I feel like in the beginning, when I first started, I would watch other people who had started businesses, and I was trying to like track how far I should be based on where it looked like other people were. And it was making me feel worse about where I wasn't. And so I say enjoy the journey, because in the beginning, if you're watching other people's stuff, then you're not focused on what you're supposed to be doing, and you're not enjoying the process of starting your business. And so my don't is don't watch other people, focus on yourself and enjoy the process.
Do it in your own timing. There you go. And Olivia.
Yes, so my don'ts are don't be afraid to make mistakes, because you know you make mistakes and you learn from them. And as well, like Randera was saying, like don't like compare yourself with other, you know, people, because you know you want to follow your own journey, not other people, because other people don't do, you know, how, you know, what you do. And for the dues, just have a solid plan, and you know go, you know, have a solid plan, and you know just have a solid plan and just build strong relationships with your suppliers, because you know that's where you get your stuff, and you don't want to, you know, not have a good relationship with them. You want to have a, yeah, good relationship. And that's about it.
I guess I would be next. So a do would be know your worth. And my don't is don't sell yourself short. That's not to say to create a product and sell it for $1 million if you think you're worth $1 million, but just don't sell yourself short. I know a lot of times we're like, well, maybe if I sell a product for cheaper, people will, you know, buy it. Maybe it's too much money. Figure out what it is, how much your materials cost, and then price your item. You don't have to just say, okay, I want people to buy it, so I'm just gonna, I'll just get what I can. Don't do that. I think that's a big mistake. Know your worth. Know your worth. If you know you have a good product, just keep pushing it, and it will get out there.
I think she somehow got logged out.
Maybe her, what is it called? Her computer might have died or something.
You ladies are awesome.
You too,
I
girl. And
have
I love
learned
your
a,
soap. I'm trying to hold
thank
on to like a
you.
little piece of your soap.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad you like
I
it.
gotta order more. It's time for a re-up.
Awesome. I can't wait to get my shirts.
I know.
I'm excited.
Tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Come
I
on,
have
girl,
learned a
pull
lot
up.
from you guys, like seriously.
Same.
Y'all
Yes. Y'all have been dropping some knowledge tonight.
Yes, I have been taking my notes. For real.
I know, same. Yes, yes.
That's what's up.
This was definitely informative.
Mm-hmm.
Caressa,
Thank
I
you for
do like what you said about not selling yourself short. Like that definitely resonated with me because I think a lot of people, like you said, people will be like, oh, I'll get what I can get. And it's like, you shouldn't think that
Yeah.
way in your business. Like you should have a goal in mind and like you have to know your customer as well. Like if you, I think sometimes as
Yes.
Black people, we always want to help our people. But I'm like, sometimes your product is
Yes.
just going to be above their margin and that's not who you're going to be able to help or who's
That's
going to be attracted
yeah.
to
That's
your
okay.
product. So it's okay for
Mm-hmm.
you to sell high. And if your people cannot afford it, then those are not your customers. So it's okay
Yeah.
to, you know, like sell at a higher price and then hopefully
Yes.
eventually people, your people will be
I
able
agree.
to
I
come
agree.
along.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's back.
I'm sorry about that, guys. Thank you, ladies, for keeping on doing that. My son, he had plugged out the thing from the computer, so I got logged out. I do apologize for that, viewers, but the ladies, I'm sure they held me down while I was away. Thank you so much, guys. So, did everyone respond to the audience giving your tips and ideas? Everyone did? Awesome. Thank you, guys. You're all queens. Thank you so much for holding me down. Thank you. So, with that being said, I'm sure you viewers have learned a lot. I have learned a lot. That's an understatement. From Shanafi, from Ebony, from Rendera, from Olivia, and from Caressa. I have learned a wealth of information. So, guys, want to start your business now? Reach out to these ladies. So I just want you ladies now to tell them where to find you. I know that Angela probably has been doing that, but just in case they have not seen it on the chat, tell us before we go where they can find you, any sort of information, please. Rendera, you want to start?
Sure. So on both Instagram and Facebook, the pages are Butter by D, and the website is butterbyd.com. And you can also just send me an email at butterbyd@gmail.com.
Okay. And Olivia.
Yes, I have Instagram, which is shower_blooms. And also my website is Shopify_blooms.myshopify.com. And if you have any questions or anything you want to ask, you can also email me at showerblooms@gmail.com.
And on your website, there's a chat tool or a message center that you can send a message or email, right, Olivia?
Yeah, that as well. Yes, on the website.
I'm here to back you up.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And how about you, Ebony?
I'm mostly on Instagram, so that would be the best place to find me. You can find me at e.volving.mama. And yeah, my, what is it called? Website is the same as well, Evolving Mama, but it's .org, not .com. So e.volving.mama on Instagram, and then evolvingmama.org is my website.
Okay, thank you. And Caressa?
You can follow me on Instagram at Bo by Caressa. That's my Instagram handle. And then my website is bobyce.com. And you can find everything that I offer on that website.
Thank you. And Carissa, I will be contacting you soon because I need quality t-shirts. I've been trying out different vendors, manufacturers,
Okay.
but I need
Yes.
quality because like Shanafi said, my mindset is goes
Yes.
global. Coward
Mm-hmm.
Conquers will come to take over. Just remember that name. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. So
All
I'll
right.
be waiting.
Okay, I will. Shanafi. Where can anyone contact you? Give us all your
All
details.
over the place. I'm a Facebook person, so it's I saw cosmetic, but if it's in terms of purchasing products, then I prefer the customer to go to the ladies who sell the products. And there is a supplier in most US states. Um, there is a wholesaler for those who want to buy the products to start over in the United States. There's a wholesaler in Canada, there's a wholesaler in the United Kingdom, there's a wholesaler in Japan. But there are individual sellers, several in all the states. So it's just to Google Zyzven Naturals. Most of these ladies have their own website, but you can always reach out to me on Facebook, tell me your location, and I'll point you in the direction of a seller. And I do have a website, but as I say, I prefer these ladies to sell their products and build their businesses.
Okay.
I'm comfortable just making it. Otherwise, it's zyzven.com.
Okay.
But
And
more
what
than
about
likely, I'll point
Jamaica?
in the direction of the seller. And I'm on, you see my name, that's my name on Facebook too, Shnafi.
Right.
And Jamaica?
In Jamaica, the products are they're no longer I pulled them from the pharmacies, but we have two sellers in Jamaica, one for the eastern end of Jamaica and one from the west. Why I pulled my products from pharmacies and retailers like shops? Because I wasn't in the business of empowering already made people. I wanted individuals to build their business. And I couldn't, an individual who has just invested in buying a small amount of products cannot compete with a larger chain store.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's available in Jamaica, it's available in the Cayman Islands, it's available in Guyana, the ABC Islands, Curacao, the United Kingdom. Most states in the United States have at least one or two sellers. It's available in Canada, in 3 or 4 provinces. German, it's just available.
Wow.
Just contact me and I'll tell you where to get it from. And the important thing I like to stress with the Zyzven Natural products, that I don't just say they work. A lab have said that they work. They're all certified.
Okay. And I showed testimony, and especially with that, I thought that was most important. That was a living true, where someone could
Yeah.
visualize, see for real how your products work. And one last thing I want to add, my little 2 cents as a tip to the viewers about businesses. Once you establish your business, please do not be selfish. I'm not telling you to give me your ingredients, every single thing, because you may have a particular ingredient, because KFC doesn't give us their exact
Their
ingredient.
recipes.
Just remember that. However, don't be selfish, because I've seen it too often when you just want to find out, where do you think? I mean, we know Google is there, okay? We jump on Google, but we're not really finding. So if I come to you and say, Shanafi, am I putting in the right words to try to find a manufacturer? At least you can guide me and say, okay, try this or try. Don't tell me that, oh yeah, it's in the US, manufacturers are there. I know, I don't think I'm that daft. You know what I'm saying? So don't be selfish. Like, try to uplift somebody else, and believe you me, watch your business grow. That's just my 2 cents there. So, anything else before we say goodbye?
I just want to reinforce to the ladies, especially those who are starting off. I cannot stress enough. I know you guys are in the US, and so the regulations are different. But what I want to say to you, that a lot of products that are sold in the United States are not allowed to be sold in, say, Japan, Australia, the European Union, or Canada, because they contain ingredients that are not allowed in these countries. So get your products certified. And just as Cleopatra says, don't be selfish. I tell this to everyone. You don't need to give somebody your formulation, but if somebody's struggling to get where you are, you have already passed them. Help them to get where you are. Together we grow. You're doing it for your community. But get certified and get insurance.
I love your passion, Shanafi. I love your work ethic. I just love your leadership
I
skills.
try.
You are doing it. Okay. I'm just letting you know that from my
Thank
perspective, you
you.
are doing a great job. Continue to do that, and you will even grow more. Your empire will only get huger, if that's a word,
You- Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you, ladies. I've learned from you guys too. Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you, thank you, ladies, thank you, queens, for taking the time out once again to be on Ladies Uplifting and Inspiring. So as you viewers, you all see, we all know, don't we have not forgotten that it's the month of breast cancer awareness, molestation. Like Shanafi said, myself was also molested as a child. I mean, you'll hear about it all in my book. I mean, I've said it to someone who I thought I could confide in. They slapped me in the face with it, a male at that. But you know what? We are strong women, strong queens that we can come out and say that we have been through the storm and we are survivors. We are going places. So look out for other topics coming next week. We will have our part 2 with our Olympians. And then the following week, we'll be talking about breast cancer awareness. And the following week, we will be doing the domestic violence coupled with mental issues because of molestation. So you will see Shanna back on our program, guys. Okay, so we just want to say a big shout out to all of you entrepreneurs, Black entrepreneurs to be specific. Keep doing what you're doing. Just continue to take great advices. Look back, do your SWOT analysis, see what you're doing wrong. Go back to the drawing board to get it right and to be consistent. That's a key also. Okay. So with that being said, another week of Ladies Uplifting and Inspiring. We will see you next week at the top because the bottom is too crowded. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a great week.
Thank you. Thanks.